Right, okay. So I've been asked here, if you have a look at this request, I'd like to know how to create a room that can only be seen from a certain angle. If you look through a hole, the room can be seen, but if you try to look around the hole, you can't see the room, and it just looks like whatever would be there normally. Right, okay. So this is a very interesting question. It's actually quite complex. I mean, to do this properly, to do this justice, I think we're sort of talking about making this an FMP, making this a sort of an extended project. So I'm not going to be able to do something completely complete right now. But I think I'll be able to demonstrate how a way that you could do it. Certainly not going to be the only way that you could do it. And certainly this is not going to be a full implementation, but hopefully it will show people, it will show you what you can, the direction you should take a project like this in, and and start you off on the road to doing something properly. Right. Okay. So I've got this level here. Let's. I think we'll import some starter content. Content packs, starter content. This is just going to give me some. Obviously, we want to build a room, so this will give me some architecture, just some rough stuff. A door and a window and things like that, so we can start to make some sort of room. And then because we're talking about portals, let's say if we're looking through something, I'm going to import my portal, and let's see what we can do. Okay, so we'll bring that in. I'm actually going to just move that content, starter content, create a new folder down here. I'll call that gate. That'll do. Architecture, that one. Just click, drag them, put them in that folder, move there. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, good. Right, next thing. Let's start a new level. New level. Call this hidden room. And let's open it up. I don't need to save that. Right, okay. Hidden room. Okay, so we've got nothing in there at the moment. Let's start thinking about what we're going to drag in. Let's start with exponential height fog. So we've got a bit of a background. Now, this is going to be quite important to make sure that we're sort of very on top of all of our transforms and our rotations and locations of everything. So as best I can, I'm just going to make sure absolutely everything is set to 0, 0, 0 and movable. Let's call, I'll just do 0, 1. Lighting, put that in there. Okay, just so we can keep everything sort of organized. I want a directional light. We'll bring that in and make sure that's in the folder. So we've got some shadows. Let's put that to 0, 0, 0 and make it movable. I will, in the world settings, just do force no pre-computed lighting so that we've got no building and light's all dynamic. So that's fine. I'm going to keep saving this as I go, and I might stop for a break because I'm not quite sure how long this is going to take. I have been doing some experiments, so I'm not completely green coming to this. Right, what else do we need? We need a floor. Let's drag in a plane. And we'll put that there. We'll center that to 0, 0, 0. There we go. We've got the plane there. Let's lock it and scale it up. We can put that roughly at, let's put it at 10. 10, make it movable. And there you go. Now I've got the grid there. I'm going to press G, go into game mode to hide all of those things. Right, so that's my plane. That's where I'm going to put everything. Going to need a player start. Put that in. You can see we've got our capsule there. In fact, that world, that plane is too small. Might go a bit bigger. We'll worry about that later. Okay, player start. Let's get that straight to 0, 0, 0 for now. Now it's gone through the floor, which is fine. So I'll bring it up, press N to adjust it exactly so that it's resting there. Okay, click on play. There we go. We're in our location. It's inside the capsule. Okay, so that's good. Press G, everything goes away. Playing, player start. Okay, so what else do we need? Some sort of skylight, I think. To some ambient light there. We bring in our gate. Yeah, okay, so that's what I've got. 90, and I'll put that back there for now. I'll probably bring that forward, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, so plane. Let's look. Let's make that much bigger. 100. All right. Okay, so that'll do for now. Let's put our player start slightly back. Press G. Let's see the capsule. Where is it? It's a 0, 0, 0 at the moment. Bring that back to minus 800. Okay, so that's minus 800 on the x-axis. Our portal, our hole, our viewer that's going to look forward into this hidden room and this hidden space, this other world, as it were, is going to be on 0, 0, 0. Okay, so that's right slap bang in the middle of our world. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Right, now let's build a room. We'll do that on the other side over here. I brought the starter content in, as you noticed. We've got starter content, architecture. What can we do? Let's just bring a load of these in. Okay, so we'll put that up here. And then let's duplicate them. Let's duplicate them that way. Make sure they're sort of even. As I say, I'm going to be quite pedantic over where things are going, making sure they're even and set up. 560, going to go minus 600. And that's, sorry, my mistake. No, we don't need that. Yeah. Okay, minus 240. Is that right? No, bring that up. Okay, 230 and 620. So minus 620. Let's just duplicate that across. And these are all in the so 230, which is fine. And then what was that? That was minus 620. So that one can be 620. It should be fine. Okay, so that's good. Right, let's duplicate those down. Select that. Control and Alt held down. Drag them along. With them both selected. Make sure they touch. Yep. Next, I'll do that again. Yeah. Okay. We'll do it one more time, and then let's have a look at doing something across here. Let's that. rotate. Okay, that's all good. See how they match. Move, Control and Alt, duplicate. Control and Alt, duplicate. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. There we go there. Right, all good. We've got the same gap there, which just means we can select all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring those in. It should match. Yeah. And we'll do the same on that side. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. We'll bring those in 1. And that should be okay. Yeah, and just so that we're all nice and even. There we go. Right, okay, so we've got a room behind this portal. If we click on play, yeah, there we go. That's our room. Oh, look at that. I can't go through it as of yet, which is to be expected. So I'm going to escape. Click on the mesh. Brown. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I edited it straight away. You can browse to asset. That was what I'm going to show, and then edit from here, or you can just edit directly. So we've got that there. Now I want to play around with the collision. Now this is a very not probably a good practice. You want to actually have a collision volume in there, but just for now, we're going to put complex collision as simple. And if we have a look at the complex collision, you can see it's mapped this area, which exactly mimics the shape, the mesh that we've got, and said this is our collision volume. And we'll go with that one. Yeah, okay, so we'll save that. Close that down. Save it all, because we don't, if it crashes, we don't want to have to do it all again. And now we can go through into our room. Right, so we've got this little hidden room. Obviously, this is up to you to be able to sort of decide what you want to be in there, or how big and all the rest of it. Let's just stick just some things in there so that we know where we are there. There's that one, and that one. Scale them up a bit. Probably a bit too much. Here we go. Okay, so we've got that room with 2 objects in. Okay, so that's cool. And I'm just going to select all of these. I think that's everything. Multiple values. Let's see if this works. We're going to change the grid snapping to 1000. And then I'm going to go 1, 2. Is that enough? 3. So I want 3000 over that way. My room is now not there. Now I could go 30,000. I could stick it right off the side. I could lower it beneath the floor. I could do loads of things now, but to really hide it, to make sure it's actually a completely hidden room. But I'll put it there just so that we can see, what's going on. And if we do this now, obviously we've got nothing behind there. You know, this is what exists. But what we want is we want a volume when we're inside somewhere. We want to be able to see that room that's over there, that's hidden over. You know, as we want to see it as if we're here, yeah, and have our portal in front. Okay, the thing there. So, but then if we're not in the volume, we want to see nothing. Yeah. Now, I could spend some time crafting it again and thinking about the volume, where we can go, where we can't go. But I think I'm just going to do this the quick way because this is just an example box trigger. Okay, so we've got box trigger. What I think I'll do actually, because it's really light, I'm going to just tone all of this down. We can see a bit better what we're doing. So box trigger. Right, I'm just going to get out of. Oh, look, so many. I'm still in 1,000. No wonder I couldn't move it. And why we had that huge grid. Right, okay. Sure, box trigger. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll just do it this way. It's fine. There are plenty of ways of doing this. We'll do it just like this for now. So we want the room to appear whenever we're inside this volume. I'll put that there so it sort of intersects the gate. Reduce it down a bit. There you go. And we will bring that through. Okay, so whenever we're in that volume, yeah, we want to see the room, yeah, see this here taking place. Okay, so I'm just going to save that. And we probably need to set up our blueprints. I'm going to go open level blueprint. So this is the blueprint area that's associated with this level. Obviously, the level is hidden room. This is the hidden room blueprint. So it will, all this sort of occurs either on event begin play as soon as we load this level, or each tick, each frame update, let's say, of whilst this level is loaded. But to begin with, we're not really interested in that. We just want a collision volume. So I'm going to go trigger box, right click straight here. I've got context sensitive selected, which is really important. Create reference to trigger box. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Actually, do I? Delete those. Right click, create an event. Collision, add on actor begin overlap. So as soon as we overlap, as soon as we go into that volume, what we're going to do, I'm just going to print string for the moment. That'll just say hello on the screen. And then I'll put on. Oh, no, I won't. Okay, in. There you go. Just so that we know where we're doing, where we are. Collision, end. Yeah, so on actor end overlap when we come out of the volume. I'm going to print another string, and this will be out. Yeah. Or I'll call that end. So that's end overlap, and that's begin overlap. Okay, so compile that, save it. End, begin, end, begin. You can see it popping up in the top left-hand corner of the viewport there. Okay, so that's definitely working. That's cool. So we know that things will begin to happen whilst we're in that volume. Okay, so what we'll do, just so that it should be pretty obvious, but I'm going to put something behind there and sphere as well. Okay, so when we're looking through here, we can see our sphere and our box. Bit. And this is our normal view through our portal. Okay, so that's it, normal, and then we want to, when we're inside the box, swap over, yeah, and actually see the room, have the room appear. But obviously, we want it to look like a room, not just a static image. It needs to be some sort of 3D element. Now, and this is where it's going to take some time and some care, and I haven't got time to really work through this as much as it could be done. I'm just going to do a sort of a basic implementation. Right. Okay. So the first thing we need to think about is a scene capture. Scene capture 2D, and I'll bring that in, put that in the scene, and let's say right now I'm going to put it at 0, 0, 0, like so. Okay. Now this is actually, I'll bring it back. We'll put it on -1000. Now this is a really interesting component. You know, does it give you any info? No, it doesn't give you any info. It's a camera basically, but it means we can render that camera out to a target, and we can then put that target into a material, and then put the material on an object. So we can project cameras and what's being seen via a camera through onto an object. You'll see how that works very shortly. But first of all, let's create what's known as a render target. So right down here, we'll go materials, render target. I'll call it my render target. Okay, yeah, I'm just doing it that way so I can find it in a list really easily. You should call it RT underscore whatever. But my render target, and then from that we're going to create a material, and we'll call it my render target material. Okay, just so that we can see what we've got. Now, okay, my render target material, we need to put it on something, and I'm going to create another plane. Drag that in, yeah, and then I'm going to rotate it by 90 degrees and then bring it up there. Now I'm not going to do anything really with it yet. I'll put the material on there. I'm not going to do anything with it, scale it, because we'll be able to do that shortly. But that, yeah, is the material with the render target on it. Yeah, okay, so we can see that there straight away. Right, in the material, yeah, we open it up. We've got our render target set here. Now, that needs to be set to linear color, I think. Yeah, I think that will warn us later that it needs to be set to linear color. We can come back and do that. Just saving everything. Okay, we've got that, we got that, we got that. Okay, so that's good. Now the render target, I've double clicked on that, we'll open that up, we'll just increase the resolution. I'm going to put that to 1920 by 1080. So this is going to match, you know, the standard screen size, so my screen size. I'll save that. Okay, so there's nothing more I need to do there. That's cool. There, my render target. Yeah. I'll save. Good. Right. Now we select our scene capture. Yep, so I've got that. The texture target I'm going to use is my render target. Now we can see through the material coming from the render target, yeah, the screen, the scene capture, the shot that we've taken, yeah, through this camera. So that is now being projected onto this area here. So let's rotate that, because as you can, if we zoom in, you have to see, yeah, it's upside down. So I'm going to rotate it that way, 90 degrees. Now, if you remember, I set my here render target. We can see that there. It's a 1920 by 1080. Okay, so that's like a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. Okay, so let's scale it roughly. Well, if we say, look, if it's let's do this properly. Yeah, 1920 by 1080. Let's see what we can do to scale this roughly to that aspect ratio. We might not be able to get it exactly like that, but that's fine. Right, so we've got that there. I'm going to unlock that. This is the plane. It's at 1 by 1. I'm going to go 19.2 by 10.8. Okay, so that should roughly be the right scale. Let's bring that up. And then let's scale it down. Okay, so we're having a problem with the scaling. There you go. As soon as we get that in, yeah, now we get that warning about it's got to be a linear color, which we'll swap that over to color, linear color. Let's just save that. Just save that. Okay, so we're having a bit of an issue with the scaling. Yeah, there we go. And we'll put that. X, where we want it to be. Okay, so we'll put that in 0. Put that in 0. So now that's right in the middle where we are. Okay, now that is on the floor. So I'll bring that up. And there you go. You can see what's starting to happen. We got a. Yeah, it's still a bit too. Is it big? Let's bring it up. Drop it on the floor. Okay, so now we're starting to see. Yeah, we've got this camera that we can move around that is projecting itself. Yeah, what's going through there onto the onto that plane, and that is yeah, repeating on and on and on. So the render target's working. That's good. If we go back down here, we can see obviously nothing there. We can't see what we've got. Yeah, we've got the plane. It's a one-sided plane, and we're projecting what we can see through the lens via a material into there. And as we're looking at this, we're looking at the portal. If you imagine that, you know, it's projecting again and again and again, and just going off all the way down that way. Okay, so that's cool, but we don't want to project the portal. We want to project what's over here. Now that, yeah, needs to be, if I remember rightly, 3000 that way. Oh, 300. Oh, 300. 8,000. Now, if we got that, there we go, we've got a room behind. Okay, so now we can see the room. It's not moving, because obviously we move this way, we want the room to move around. We want to probably be closer. Just put it there for now, see what happens. Yeah, and we want it to actually be on the plane of the of where the portal was. Yeah, so literally on that side. So there you go. Now we've got a room behind it. Now this is where we're going to get into issues, and this is where we need to start really thinking about crafting this appropriately to make sure that we've got a match between here and here. Now, if you look, it's not right. We've got a field of view. It doesn't actually look like it's part of the same plane. We probably need to play around with this, play around with the pitch a bit more, play around with. There's lots of things that we need to do to make sure that it actually matches appropriately and move this around. But yeah, okay, so we're there. We've got the room, and that's okay. But I know that there's a lot of fine adjustment that we need to make to really get it looking appropriate and getting it looking like it's real. Now, but there are things that we can do quickly, apart from worrying about the final adjustments. So I will, let's just enable this switching off and on, the visibility. I think that's probably one of the first things that we can begin to do. So hidden room, this is our level blueprint. I'm going to bring that up there. Let's put that there, that there. Oh, I don't want to do that. We need to delete those, don't we? Let's get our plane here. So that's our plane 2. We'll create a reference to it. And then we'll set the visibility. Set the visibility of the static mesh component, so the actual mesh that holds the material. And we want on overlap, if we bring that, we want to set the visibility to on. Here, same again, we want to set visibility of the static mesh component. Put that there. Put that there. It should be all right. I don't know why we got that there. Let's try. Yeah, I'll do. I always tend to try and get it neat as possible. You never know when you might have to come back and do something with it 5 years later. There we go. Right. Okay, so now if we play that, okay, so we see our normal room. I think when we get close, we see our hidden room. Okay, so when we look, and obviously we'll have to think about how to actually do that volume, but that's something that someone can do on a longer project. Okay, so we're in there, but next thing we want to do is we want to start thinking about mimicking the camera here and making sure that it matches what we've got with the room. So as we move our player, as we move the player capsule around, we want that to move around. We want to see that in 3D, not just a 2D plane. So we need to mimic the camera move there with the camera moves we've got over here. Right, so let's give that a go. First thing I'm going to do is move that out of the way. I'm going to get the player controller. Okay, so that's as you're playing, as you're possessing, the screen and starting to play. We'll look for the camera that the player has, and it's the camera controller we want. Let's see if we can. Camera controller, yeah, get player camera manager, that's the one we need. And then we want to sort of get the world location. Get world location, so we want to find out where this player's camera is in world space. Get the world location, and we also want to get the world rotation. Get world rotation. Okay, so we've got those two. Location and rotation, and then once we've got those, we want to set that of our capture component, this one over here, this camera. So we want to sort of make that match. So we want to set the world location and rotation. Set world. Just keeping on looking to make sure I'm getting the right ones, because we haven't got anything selected. I'll come out of context sensitive, and then we should have set world location and rotation all under transformation. If we look at transformation, what it is we're doing is we're playing around with these options here, location and rotation, and it's the world ones we're looking for. See, so that's 3000. Yeah. Yeah, height 120 actually, which might maybe remember that. That might become important. Don't need that, we can close that. Don't need that, we can close that. I will compile and save that, and I will just save that because I don't want to do all this again. All right, let's start thinking about plugging some of these values in. Right, so we can put a new location into there, yeah, and then we can put a new rotation into there. That's cool. What we may need to do though is, before we do that, I'm actually going to undo that. And then I'm going to split the return values here so that I get, the X, the Y, and the Z. So I've split those down. And then here, new location, we'll split that. So we can do that. And it's the X stays the same, the Z stays the same, but the Y, we need to minus 3000 from it. So this is a float coming out of there. You can see returns a float. So I want a float plus a float. I'll take the Y value and then I'll minus 3000 from it and then plug it in over there. So that should move, it should mimic exactly what my camera's doing, but 3000 pixels to the minus, 3000 units to the minus. So that should work, hopefully. We'll see what happens. And then we want to get our scene capture. So this element here, I've got it selected. So I'm going to right click, context sensitive, create a reference to it. No problems targeting it because this is the level blueprint and it's in the level. And then basically we want to make it a target. It will make sure that we're targeting the root component of the scene capture because it's a blueprint. That's fine. That's what we need. How often do we want this to happen? Let's move that out of the way. We want this to happen all the time, often as possible, every single frame. So let's just move those down. Those. And then we'll, so we'll do an on tick, event tick. So this will execute, this will fire every single frame. Compile that, save that. We've got no errors, so we might be okay. Let's have a look. Click on play. Cool, right, we're in the volume. Okay, so we're there. We can see. Yes, you can see that over there. We've got some stuff going on, but we seem to be in the wrong place. Okay, let's try and work out what's happening. Right, okay. Okay, so what I think we need to do is we'll put that to 3000. I'll save play. Standalone, right, okay, so now we're here. It wasn't minus 2000, it was 3000. Okay, so we're getting further away. We're zooming in and out on the objects as we get closer. They're getting bigger, but we've still got this gap. So if we just swap back here, have a look. Yeah, there you go. We have a look here. We're at minus 1100. So on the X. So let's do the same. Copy and paste that. And then on the X, we want 1100. So we're making these adjustments to our second camera to bring it sort of more in line with where we want it to be. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Now we've got a room. Okay, so we're looking for a room. It's moving around in 3D. We can look at that side. We go over there. We look at that side. Yeah. Okay, so we've got it working. I mean, it's very rough because we need to match the cameras and we need to match the way that things move appropriately. And as we get closer, those objects seem to be getting closer. We actually need to move them away. So there's some more, there's quite a lot of maths that we need to do to really make that look real. There's more on the rotation, on the transform. But as far as I can see, we think about the brief, a hidden room that exists behind an area, a portal that that is only viewable from certain angles. Yeah, okay. So proof of concept. That's roughly how it would get done. Okay, so as you can see, we're actually what we're doing is we're actually controlling a camera that is over there on the right hand side of the screen. So it's just following along, doing exactly the same as I'm doing on this side. But obviously, we need, as I say, there's more things to be done. This is just proof of concept, showing you how you could approach it. Yeah, hidden room. Okay, so we've got a shadow on the on here as well. Don't forget, look, that's probably what's causing a bit of issues. Maybe we don't want to cast a shadow on that. There you go. There you go. That's sort of a bit better. And also we need to match appropriately. See if we can do that. Just change the material to colour match it a bit better. It's the tone mapping that we want. Post-process. Is that right? Yeah, and then before tone mapping, maybe. Emissive color. Save. Yeah, there you go. That looks a bit better color match now. Yeah, there you go. Anyhow, and obviously, we need to go up a bit and really just play around with the field of view and the way the camera works to make sure that it sort of looks okay. Okay, anyway, I hope you found that interesting. A tricky one, that. And again, it's I would need a good few hours to actually probably do this justice. There are some other ways I think it can be done. But this is sort of the first way that I would begin to investigate. Okay, so thank you very much. Catch you later.